Dear friends, welcome back to Automate with Rakesh. In this video, we are going to focus on queue item success percentage. How can you create a widget in your dashboard, something like this, which is supposed to show you the percentage, not the exact count or anything, as a percentage. So how this calculation is made, how this can be built, we are going to learn in this video. For this, I'm going to open one of my dashboard where I would like to have that widget created for queue item success percentage. Okay, so I'm opening the dashboard. Give it a few seconds. Okay, I have already taught all of this. How do you create all of these graphs in my playlist? Hope you have already watched them. So let's get started with today's agenda. I am first of all going to edit the existing dashboard. And here I'll be creating one more widget. Now, how do I create it? For this, I'll click on add. I'll click on visualization. Most important part is here, selecting your scope. So here I'm not interested for the entire org, rather I'm interested within the tenant. So within the tenant, for the queue items I want, I'll be selecting queue. If you're interested for the entire organization, your org has multiple tenants, you would like to create a dashboard for this, you can go with this. I'm going to select queues. And then let us provide a proper title. So I would say queue item success percentage. Okay. And then, as you know, there are three different layers: filter, visualization, and data. We have to first focus on the specific columns that I need for this visualization. So what are the things I need? One is I'm interested on the processing status, the queue item processing status. So what do you do when you get onto this? Minimize everything so that it looks quite neat and clean, and then you can start. So I'm going to expand queue, scroll down, and there is something called processing status. I'm going to simply click on this. The moment you do a single click, it is going to appear here. I'm going to simply run it. So what are the different processing status we have for the queue? You have new, abandoned, deleted, failed, successful, right? So based on my data, it is only giving this much. But if you have a new transaction, even that would appear here. So all the queue statuses have appeared here. After that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this settings and I'm going to click on pivot. By doing this, these columns which were at the bottom will now move on to the top. It will appear like a column instead of a row. So if I run this, you can pretty well see how it has formed now. So instead of rows, now it has appeared in the columns. The next field that I need is the queue item count. So what is the count of deleted items? What is the count of failed items? What is the count of successful items? So let's run it. Once you click on it. So if you go to in use, you will be able to see those fields. Okay. So now I have run it and you can see abandoned there are 5, deleted there are 70, failed there are 12, successful there are 965. Okay. These numbers would vary based on your data. All right, so I've got them. Now the question is, how do I convert this to percentage? So what is more important here is to create a custom field. So how do you create a custom field? We need to understand. For this, you go here and then click on plus add. So you get three options: custom dimension, custom measure, table calculation. Let me go with the third option, table calculation. Now here in the table calculation, what you need the percentage of rows. So for example, these are the rows, right? 5. So you need percentage for these values, which is a row. So what I will do, once again, add table calculation. And here I'll be selecting percentage of row. Clear? And then it will ask you, what is your source column? So your source column is queue item count. So I'm going to select this. It is automatically going to appear. I'm going to select that. Now here the percentage decimal, I would like to keep it to 2 decimal. And now you can give it a name. I will say percentage. Okay. So automatically, because the format is percentage, it is automatically going to convert that to percent. I'm going to hit on save. Now what happened, if you see, there are total these many items are there. So I would like to see the total. So you can enable row total. Now you can see if you run it, Okay, if you run it, there are 1052 items. Out of that, 5 are abandoned, which is 0.48 percentage. 70 are deleted, which is 6.65 percentage. Failed, 12 are failed, which is 1.14 percentage. Successful, 965, which is 91.73 percentage. Okay, so these are the data which has appeared. So if you see this, the data has appeared. Now what I am interested in the success, not the other items. I am not interested for the abandoned, deleted, failed. Rather, I am only interested on this category. Now for this, if you click on the visualization, you can see the visualization is not proper. It is coming something like this. I want a single data. So it is only showing the very first data here. I am interested in the successful one. So how to do this? For this, click on this settings and I'm going to hide all of these columns which I am not interested in the dashboard. So I'm hiding abandoned, deleted, failed. Now in the successful, what happened? It is showing 965, which I am not interested. I am interested on this column. So what I will do, click on the settings and hide this. So then it will move to the next available column, which is 91.73, which is appearing perfectly fine for me. Now, once this percentage has appeared in the visualization, all you do, hit on save. You might be having more questions. Rakesh, this data, which queue name is it from? Is it from all? Yes, because we have gone with the queue scope. All the queues that are present in your tenant is calculated here, the overall count. Now you might say, okay, Rakesh, I'm not interested in all of the queues. I'll be rather interested in a single queue. Even that you can do it. You click on the filter and use queue and select the queue name as your filter criteria. Let me select the queue name. And then this is the place where you can select your specific queue. This is one way of doing. The other one is on the dashboard itself. You can have a filter there. You can apply and do it. Okay, so I'll avoid this at the moment just to show you how it is created. But again, you got the concept. I'm going to hit on save and you can see 91.73 has come. Now what I'm interested for a specific queue. Let me save it. Okay, let me save the dashboard. So right now, because there is no queue name selected at the dashboard filter, then it is applicable to all the widgets. Because it's not applicable, what exactly it is doing? It is taking out all the queues and showing you the percentage. Let's say you are interested for a very specific queue name. So all you do, go here in the queue name and select the queue. For example, I am interested in the RPA challenge Q1. Once you have selected, simply refresh it. So you can see the percentage value would change. Okay, so it remains same. Maybe this is for 30 days. For example, let me remove the queue. Let me make it to year to date. Run it just to show you the difference, because I have not added too many transactions in my tenant. That is the reason where the numbers are not changing. But here if you see, now it is year to date is 91.73. Let me refresh. Okay, now let me select some other queue. For example, if I select Q1, refresh. Uh, 91.73. Let me try with some other queue. Let's say test Q1. Refresh. Okay, for certain reason it is not actually refreshing. So let me click on edit. Let me see what is the problem. Go here, data. Okay, let me apply a filter here and see. Queue name. Now if I'm selecting, for example, Q1 and run it, okay, so here you can see it is actually changing the data. Okay, maybe this is happening for the reason because this dashboard was created. For example, this queue was created on the org level, the entire org. Yeah, see, this is the reason, because I've selected org, that's why it is, this is how it is appearing. So let me change this maybe. I'll remove it, and I'm going to anyway save it as a blank. So it is showing 91.73. So this is at the org level. Let me delete that. Let me delete this. Let me apply some new filters, add filter. And here I would be selecting Q because my scope was Q. So I'll be selecting Q. And here I would be selecting the Q name. Okay. And this is how it is going to appear. That's okay. And checkboxes, tag list. I think I'll go with the tag list and add. Now let's see if the values are changing or not. Okay, so 91.73. The other dashboards, because this all were created with the org one, that's why it is all appearing blank at the moment. But just to show you, I'm going to select, for example, RPA challenge Q1. So when you're building a dashboard, you should be pretty clear which scope you are selecting. Are you selecting the org scope? Are you selecting the, so you can see it has now refreshed to 53.33. So it is always important to define your scope, org scope, or are you going with a normal tenant queue scope? That is more important. So here if I select it, you can see the data is now getting refreshed. I hope you would have got certain knowledge from this exercise, and please do practice and do let me know in the comment if you have completed this exercise. Thank you for watching. Let's meet once again in our next content. Till then, take care.